Welcome to FreightDispatchUniversity.com. I'm your coach, Coach Tina. Uh, my company is Darienlogistics, Transportation and Logistics Presentation. So let's start. Also, Natasha Holmes, Office Administrator. Get your onboarding paperwork done for you. Access to find new carriers on our website. Set up your domain and business email for a small fee. And send all your questions and information to Natasha Stellar at Darienlogistics.com. I'm a dispatch trainer in logistics services, and you want to know what is logistics? It's part of a supply chain management that deals with the efficient forward and reverse flow of goods, services, and related information from the point of origin to the point of consumption according to the needs of customers. Logistics management is a component that holds the supply chain together. The course. I've been in the industry for over 7 years, hundreds of happy clients. Dispatch is the standard process of resource allocation, be it people or vehicles, to handle the transportation of goods efficiently. It forms the primary stage of logistics and lays the foundation for the overall delivery experience. Freight transportation. The trucking industry serves the American economy by transporting large quantities of raw materials, works in process, and finished goods over land, typically from manufacturing plants to retail distribution centers. Transportation logistics is exclusively about managing material as it moves through the supply chain. This is directly related to how freights are hauled, whether it's via truck, through the air, or by boat. This distribution model helps ensure all goods are being transported safely and efficiently. Uh, you'd say, what is logistics services? Shipment is held by road freight, ocean freight, and air freight. Let's go back to transportation history. History of trucking, the history of the trucking industry in the United States. The trucking industry has affected the political and economic history of the United States in the 20th century. Before the invention of automobiles, most freight was moved by train or horse-drawn vehicle. Trucks were first used extensively by the military during World War I. With the increase in construction of paved roads, trucking began to achieve a significant foothold in the 1930s. Public safety concerns made it necessary to implement various government regulations, such as the 1965 Hours of Service Rule, recently revised with a compliance date of July 1st, 2012, of how long drivers were allowed to work and drive each day, week. Okay, in 1956, taxpayers provided funds to build an interstate highway system, an extensive network of highways and freeways that link major cities across the continent. The addition of interstate highway system also made it possible for the trucking industry to grow substantially in the late 1950s and early 1960s, and trucking has come to dominate the freight industry in the latter portions of the 20th century. Trucking achieved national attention during the 1960s and 70s when songs and movies about trucking driving were major hits. Truck drivers participated in widespread strikes against the rising cost of fuel during the energy crisis of 1973 and 1979. Congress deregulated the trucking industry with the passage of the Motor Carrier Act of 1980. Okay, what is the difference between a freight broker versus dispatcher? What's the difference? Okay, a freight broker connects shippers with carriers while dispatchers work for the carrier. Dispatchers are unregulated about freight brokers, must have insurance and a license to operate. Role of the dispatcher. Freight dispatchers are usually employees of an individual fleet. They are responsible for ensuring that drivers have loads to deliver and that they are on time. Freight dispatchers optimize routes and communicate status updates to your customers. Shifting schedules, last minute changes, routing issues. The trucking industry requires a dynamic workforce to navigate the endless number of moving parts it contends with daily. Freight dispatchers play an important behind the scenes role within your fleet. They can help bridge the gap between customers, drivers, and owner operators in scaling and managing your fleet, also known as truck dispatchers. Freight dispatchers make sure your fleet has loads to deliver, stays on schedule, and meets customer requirements. Truck dispatchers aren't just for large fleets, they can help small motor carriers aiming to grow their business. Dispatchers scout load boards, discovering opportunities with shippers that have similar business needs. Their efforts help to build a steady customer base for smaller fleets. Dispatchers help trucking companies streamline their operations and manage seamless customer experiences. Are you considering hiring freight dispatchers? Read on to learn how they can bring value to your fleet, plus learn what tools will maximize their performance. Okay, what is the freight dispatcher again? So, freight dispatchers support a variety of business functions for trucking company. Most job descriptions are a mix of support, operations, and customer service tasks. Depending on the company, dispatchers also work on back-end operations like billing and compliance. Since freight dispatchers are in constant contact with your customers and drivers, strong communication skills are key. Dispatchers spend a lot of time coordinating with truck drivers to minimize late deliveries. They also keep clients informed of drivers' locations and arrival times. Customer service skills are vital to the job. Successful dispatchers can help strengthen customer relationships, encourage safe driving behaviors, and ensure on time deliveries. The freight dispatcher also analyzes huge amounts of fleet daily. To optimize delivery routes and manage incoming customers' requests, dispatchers must consider endless variables. This includes everything from current weather conditions to the number of completed stops. Much of their day is consumed by liaising between your drivers, sales agencies, and in customers. Uh, the truck dispatcher job responsibility and skills. A truck dispatcher is integral to the success of a delivery chain and works with both the drivers and customers along a delivery or collection route. Dispatchers play a key role in getting trucks out to collect and deliver loads for business shipping goods. Without them, we can hardly imagine the trucking industry. So let's dive into this profession and what does it need to become a successful dispatcher. Main responsibilities of truck dispatchers: receive and dispatch orders, coordinate and manage the most efficient load, arrange delivery and pickup times, and special handling requests. Keep truckers up to date on road conditions, reviewing drivers' logs, monitoring truck repairs, and maintenance schedules. Skills that truck dispatcher needs to possess: organization and communication, patience, computer skills, problem solver, ability to prioritize tasks and manage time. Now we're going to talk about the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA, is an agency in the United States Department of Transportation that regulates the trucking industry in the United States. The primary mission of the FMCSA is to reduce crashes, injuries, fatalities involving large trucks and buses. This is where you go for all of your transportation information, where to go for your trucks, your carriers to stay compliant. Okay, this is a very good website, fmcsa.com. Your trucker, they need an MC authority. What is an MC authority? MC authority is a number assigned by the FMCSA to identify a carrier operating for hire and transporting regulated commodities, interstate commerce. This MC number is also known as a operating authority or trucking. A dot number, this is also what they need. A U.S. dot number identifies carriers operating in interstate commerce. These are the numbers that you would get for your carrier off the FMCSA website. Again, we're still talking about what does a truck dispatcher do. I know this is up here a couple of times. Truck dispatcher is tasked with scheduling deliveries, passengers transport, or shipments that are conducted by truck. They work hand in hand with truck drivers. They maintain communication with customers, record shipment details, ensure pickup times, and discuss any other issues. A truck dispatcher is also responsible for tracking delivery trucks to ensure that goods arrive on time, undamaged. They may also be in charge of setting up routes. Okay, let's talk about the outlook for dispatching as a career. Is it favorable? Okay, the U.S. Department of Transportation projects that the number of freight tons moving throughout the nation's transportation network will grow 40% by 2045. As freight volume in the United States increases, the demand for skilled freight dispatchers will also rise. Again, I'm Coach Tina, FreightDispatchUniversity.com, Darienlogistics.com. That's my website. That's my company. That's my logistics transportation business. My phone number and my office administrator is Natasha Holmes. You can also reach her at that number. And these are all of the social media platforms that I am on. Thank you again for coming to listen to my video.